Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to be making catsup, and this is a recipe that was handed down to me from my great-grandmother. About a year or maybe 6 months ago, my great aunt moved out of her home, and there was some things left behind that she said I could have. And I found a couple of things of recipe books. And one of these books had a bunch of recipes in it, canning pickles and stuff like that. And I found this recipe for my great-grandmother's ketchup. So that is what we're going to be doing. I had already picked my tomatoes. So it calls for a half a bushel. So we already cooked those down and we ran them through my strainer, which you can see right here. So now we are just cooking down the sauce. It says that you need to cook it for 3 hours. So that is what we are doing at this moment. There is nothing else in here. It's just straight up tomatoes. Typically when we make tomato juice, we put celery and peppers and everything else. But this is straight up tomato stuff. There's nothing extra in here. And we already had strained it, and we're gonna let this boil a little bit, and we're gonna keep stirring it, and it's going to boil for 3 hours. Once we do that, then I will get out the recipe and I will show you how we are gonna make my great-grandmother's ketchup. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna share with you my great-grandmother's recipe. So let's go ahead and we'll get started. It calls for 5 cups of vinegar, 5 cups of brown sugar, 6 tablespoons of salt, 5 tablespoons of cinnamon, 5 teaspoons of cinnamon, 4 teaspoons of cloves, and a half a teaspoon of red pepper. So let's go ahead and we'll get started. Okay, I have my handy dandy pitcher here. It calls for 5 cups of brown sugar, but that to me is quite a lot, so I'm not going to put in that much. Shaking it a little bit. I am actually going to put in 4 instead of 5. I'm doing 1 less than what the recipe calls for. I don't want to stray too far away from what the recipe calls for, so I'm going to do 1 cup less. So I need to use 6 tablespoons of salt. I already put 1 in. I'm using pink Himalayan sea salt. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Don't use table salt. It has an iodized to it, so it will make your ketchup look funny. So don't do that. Use a canning salt or use pink Himalayan sea salt. It requires some teaspoons of cinnamon. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'm lucky to have lots of cinnamon on hand because we used it for our apple butter and stuff that we use. So I need 5 teaspoons. And that's 1. 2. 3, 4, 5. 5 of that. And then it also asks for 4 teaspoons of cloves. And I have some right here. One, 2, 3, and 4. rosemary, and then a half a teaspoon of red pepper. I'm gonna stir it. It's actually really, it's starting to look like ketchup. So now I'm just gonna wait. Okay, so I'm letting this boil. The recipe calls that it needs to boil until thick or for about 3 hours. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. It smells delicious, so I think it's actually gonna be really nice catsup. So kind of excited. Just waiting on it, and I'll be back when it's done. Okay guys, so this is day 2 on the ketchup, and basically it was a lot harder than what we thought. Okay, so this is the ketchup. This is what it rendered to. You can see where we started, which was right here, and it went to there. We left it on the stove overnight so that it could get thick. And it's still a runny consistency, but it's thicker than what we thought. So we're gonna can this the way it is. It's still a good consistency. It's actually still warm. So we're gonna let it cool down just a little bit more. It tastes really good. It's just not like any ketchup that you've ever had. But it's still very, very good. Okay, so thanks you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. This is our great ketchup video from my great grandmother's recipe. And we will see you all in the next video. Thank you.